The Department of Justice has identified and charged the leaders of the Terrorgram collective. And that is a huge deal because these guys are accused of using the Telegram app to try to incite far-right mass killers and terrorists. And if they're convicted, they could each face up to 220 years in prison. I'm gonna explain, and the algorithm is really gonna hate this. See, the indictment describes Terrorgram as a network of channels, group chats, and users on Telegram that promote white supremacist accelerationism, which is an ideology that's centered on the belief that the white race is superior, that there's no political solution to society's problems, and that violence and terrorism is necessary to ignite a race war and accelerate the collapse of government and the rise of a white ethno-state. To try to make that happen, the indictment alleges that this collective, quote, solicited terrorist attacks, including but not limited to bias-motivated attacks against groups deemed by Terrorgram to be enemies of the white race, attacks on government infrastructure, and attacks on high-value targets like politicians and government officials. Oh, and here's a not-so-fun fact. According to the Canadian anti-hate network's Peter Smith, 2 Canadians who were arrested on terrorism charges last year were apparently contributing to this group. Oh, Canada, am I right? Anyways, in this latest indictment, the DOJ lays out evidence of these 2 alleged Terrorgram leaders soliciting Telegram users to commit acts against people because of their race, religion, sexuality, and gender identity. They were also allegedly in the process of putting together what they called the Saint Encyclopedia, which celebrates white supremacist attackers as saints and urges Terrorgram users to follow in their path. The indictment also lists 3 examples of attackers who they allege were, quote, guided by Terrorgram posts, publications, videos, and instruction manuals, and carried out attacks in order to become saints, or were planning to do so but were arrested first. Like a man who unalived 2 people at what the indictment describes as an LGBT bar in Slovakia, who sent his manifesto to one of the alleged leaders before unaliving himself. According to Jared Holt, a senior researcher with the Institute for Strategic Dialogue who studies US hate and extremist movements, these charges will, quote, send a shockwave through the violent white supremacist movement. And the US Attorney General has a warning for these folks and others like them, quote, soliciting terrorist attacks from behind a screen will not protect you. What do you think of all this?